Hey guys, it's Autumn here, and welcome back to another D&D story time. Today we are doing a digital version of this, and we are focusing on the ever-lovely Fire Mom, aka Ambriel Briar. I probably have titled this video something along the lines of Ambriel Briar, the Fire Mom of the group, or something like that, so you would have known this originally. So, I want to talk about the drawing process first, and then we'll move into the story time, because I tend to forget about to talk about the drawing process as much as I want to. So there's that. You'll see I am using a reference for the arm pose that I want, because I couldn't get it right. And so what I do when I have a hard time with doing posing and things is I will pull up a reference, and I'll just do the circle and lines that you saw me do in order to get a better idea of where the shoulder, the elbow, and the wrist should be. So I did that for her one arm because it felt off and I was having kind of a rough drawing day when I was doing this. So I was tweaking it and doing that. This is completely digital. It's the first piece that I did completely digital. So we have one watercolor piece, 3 Copic marker pieces, and 1 digital at this point. I was having an awfully hard time drawing Ambriel's ears from the direction I was trying to, because I wanted to draw her from the front view. But I was getting caught up on the way that my friend Katie draws her character Ambriel from the side. So I ended up drawing her 3/4 view as well and doing this. So what I did for this was just kind of did this. I drew the head really small, and I know that. I do eventually size it up, and that's that. I use a really fancy luminance brush to get some of the effects I get, and yeah, that's about it for the drawing process. Now let's move into Ambriel Briar. Ambriel Briar is a fire genasi, which is a human genie hybrid. Ambriel does not actually know her parents and believes them both to be dead. This is probably something we'll eventually get to in our story. But Ambriel has the ability to control fire and do all kinds of fun stuff, and it's really, really cool. And my friend Katie plays her where she's very stoic and she's trying to get in control of her emotions. So she's a monk. She is completely red and brown and fiery colored due to the fact that she is indeed a fire genasi, and her primary abilities tend to be just like fists, throwing fists, and she has a staff, I believe, or a cane, something along those lines. And she has very basic fire spells because of her race. Ambriel herself can be quite harsh at times, and this is where a story comes into play. This past Monday, we all got together and we played D&D for about 4 hours straight. And in doing this, it gave us a lot of time to kind of come into our characters a bit more and get a little bit better at playing as them and kind of getting a feel for them. So while we were playing, Faraday, who I introduced to you last time I did one of these videos, was crying in the back of our cart that we were taking to go to Grimsby from the place that we were at, which I don't remember the name of. I think it's Amberson. No, we were in Garrick's Landing. We went from Garrick's Landing to Grimsby, back where we had come from. And Faraday was crying. So Fire Mom goes, "Why are you crying?" And we tried explaining to Fire Mom that she was upset and her feelings were hurt. And she goes, "Get over it. Emotions are for the weak." So that made Faraday cry even more, and we were all like, what is going on? So that was fun. Very, very small anecdote. And then we were on the way back, we were kind of all arguing with each other. It was very, very tense the entire time we were playing, because we all really, really wanted to get to combat. So our characters were kind of taking it out on each other unintentionally. It was really, really funny, and there was a lot of yelling. But we ended up finally making it back to Grimsby. And after Zemi, or Zimgol, who is the dwarven barbarian on our team, who will eventually get his own video, but that requires me drawing a half-naked dwarf, so that'll be a while. he kept giving Alexandra shit because of the fact that she was a drow and she kept going into situations as sort of the leader. Now, the actual character Zimmy, my friend Connor, was not present for this session, so Zimmy was being played by our DM. So I think our DM was just trying to see how far it would go to see if Alexander would actually hurt Zimmy, because there were a couple threats of sleep arrows in the eye, which was very fun to threaten, but we are focusing on Ambriel, so we'll get back to that. Ambriel and I went up into the tavern that we were supposed to enter after finishing our travel and found that our entrance door was locked, so we were locked in like a storeroom. And Zimmy was giving us crap, and I was asking if there was a way to pick the lock because the door was locked and I didn't think to knock. So I asked if there's a way, and then Zimmy goes, in a very smart-ass way, "Did you try knocking?" And I go, "Zimmy, of course I did." And then I walk over to the door, and I go, "Ambriel, sit on the hatch." Ambriel goes, "Of course," slams the hatch in their face, sits down on top of it, and they are left wondering, did we just get locked out? Are we stuck down underground now? I guess this is our life now. And I proceeded to knock on the door, attempt to get attention, and we eventually caught the attention of the tavern owner, and we had arrived back at the tavern at 4 o'clock in the morning from our travel from Garrick's Landing to Grimsby. Very, very funny. Very, very fun. And the two drivers that we had, Faraday and Dreyfus, a human fighter that's part of our team, played by my other friend named Connor, who will get his own video eventually because he's actually easier to draw. And that was that. And we eventually made it back, and we then proceeded to go down into the mines again, where we first met Dalkin, and have very interesting conversations which warrant their own video. And then we entered the fray. So if you guys have ever seen Critical Role, I'm gonna kind of describe this in a way that may not make sense unless you've seen it. Caleb is a human wizard who uses dancing lights, which is a cantrip, very, very often. While in the mine, I decided to play around with this, and Ambriel decided to see how bright she could go. It was very entertaining. We found that apparently Ambriel can go brighter than dancing lights can even hope to go, and makes them look like dark spots in the room. So don't play with the Fire Mom. She's Fire Mom, by the way, because she is super protective of everyone in her group and wants to make sure that no one ever gets her on her watch. But yeah, so that's that. My friend Katie is incredibly talented and incredibly intelligent, and just so many praises are sung her way, and she would probably blush super hard if she heard any of this. So I'm going to make sure she hears this so I can see her blush, probably. That is besides the point, because yeah. But yeah, that is Fire Mom. If there are any specific characters you'd like to see next, there's a few characters that just haven't been introduced into this part of the story yet, or just haven't played super large roles, so I'm kind of waiting on putting them. I will put a poll in the corner and poll in the iTab. Just let me know which character you think sounds the most interesting, and we will go from there to see who gets picked next for the next episode of D&D Stories. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone!
Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to check out another one over there, and if you want to see the full playlist for this series, check out over here. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!